Hi, this is Sam Richter, and I am super excited to be sharing with you the Copper and Brass Supply Chain Association Intel engine. Let me give you a quick tour of what the engine can do. First off, let's start with the CBSCA GPT. What this does is think of it as a custom version of ChatGPT built specifically for you. So it already knows that you're in the copper and brass supply chain industry. I can enter in any prompt: how will tariffs impact the price of copper for the remainder of 2026? And the system will actually answer this through the lens of someone in the industry. Now, the system is trained to answer simple questions, but if it's a more complex question, it's also trained and knows to ask more clarifying questions. As you can see, we got a pretty amazing answer. And it's through the lens of someone in the copper brass supply chain industry. And even though this is darn impressive, it's not an A+ answer. You see, most people, when they use generative AI, use a F-level prompt, like in a school, A, B, C, D, F. Well, this is an F-level prompt, and most of the time, F-level prompts will work just fine. But watch what happens when we build an A-level prompt. Well, how do we do that? We go to the prompt writer inside the engine. Choose the tone that you'd like. We'll choose executive. We'll paste in the exact same prompt. And as you can see, that's an F-level prompt. Well, how do we get that to an A-level prompt? The system will analyze the prompt and it will ask us a series of questions. Obviously, if we answered the questions, the prompt is going to be even better. For our demo, we're just going to skip and generate. And now you can see we have an A-level prompt. What's an A-level prompt look like? Well, look at that. And this is why we have the prompt writer, because no one's going to remember how to do this. Once we get our A-level prompt, we click the Copy to Clipboard button. We'll go back to the GPT, and let me show you the difference. We'll paste in the A-level prompt. Now, as you can see, the system is trained to ask us questions. So let me type in a response here. Now, look at the kind of answer we get. If you type in an A-level prompt, then you get an A-level answer. And the system makes it really easy to copy this and put it directly into a strategic plan, a business plan, a marketing plan. Just click the Copy to Clipboard button and you're ready to go. The next section is Contract Analyzer. You upload a contract, enter the word begin, and watch as the system reads the contract. The Contract Analyzer will then ask us, what party to the contract are we? With this example, we're the consultant, and we not only get a detailed analysis and summary of the contract, the system will actually build out a risk analysis table. What are the high risk areas? What are the medium risk areas? Any critical areas? Low risk areas? It will give us a deep dive analysis on the full contract, mentioning any high risk terms, medium risk terms. It will compare the contract to an industry standard contract, outline any unfair or unusual terms, any missing protections, and remember, it's providing this information from our perspective. It will give us a negotiation strategy, suggested changes, a fallback position if the other party is unwilling to negotiate. It highlights any red flags, recommended action steps, and additional considerations. Now, does this replace your attorney? Of course not. But it saves you a huge amount of time and probably a huge amount of money. The Intel engine can also be used for prospecting. Under the Companies and People section, we can run a company search. We'll search for an industry type. We can choose a location. We can choose a revenue size. In this example, we'll choose an employee size, 5 to 10,000 employees. We can click the next button and get the next set of 10 results, the next set of results, and so on. We can export the entire list to a CSV file, or we can grab the name of the company, we'll copy it. We're going to go under Search for Manufacturing Execs, paste in the name of the company. Now we can choose a seniority level and or a function level. In this example, we'll choose mechanical engineers. click the Manufacturing Decision Maker button, and the system will run a complex Boolean search, and then with the results, it will use AI to sort the results based on relevancy. On the results page, we can click the next button, get the next 10 results, the next button, get to 30, export the entire list. We can click on their name and go to their LinkedIn profile, and even click the Find Email Address button. And what the system will first do is try to identify a verified email address. If it can't find a verified email address, it will do the next best thing and run a mathematical equation to determine what it believes the email address is based on finding other email addresses on the internet. Under Companies and People, you can do the same by searching by function or seniority level. You can run a power search, which allows you to search for people by a lot of different criteria. And we can also find a trigger event. What's a trigger event? It's what's going on in the other person's world where they might need to speak with you today. You type in a location. I'll choose Texas, industry, manufacturing, and then this runs a Google News search to find results that are relevant to a sales trigger. For example, mergers. So find me mergers in Texas in the manufacturing industry. I'll go review any of these news results, and if it finds that it might be a good fit, I'll go back into the system and find the correct people at the company. The next section is meeting prep. Never, ever, ever go to a meeting without running a company analysis. We'll type in the name of the company, and the system will look for information from thousands of credible company sources. It will always highlight the sources, and it organizes the information in ways that we, as salespeople, as business executives, need. Overall sales and messaging, likely strategic initiatives, organizational details, key products and solutions. What are the problems the company solves? Who are their customers? Who are their customers' customers? Who's their competition? How do they differentiate from the competition? How do they stand up against the competition? What's their financials and performance? What's their online reputation? Any recent news stories? A SWOT analysis, evaluation and risks, pros and cons for employees and customers, and it always cites its sources. Similarly, with industry analysis, you can type in any industry, and the system will search thousands of credible and objective industry publications to find the information that we care about. And the system organizes the information in ways that we, as business executives, sales executives, marketing executives, need. Industry highlights, key startling statistics, who are the key players, who are the customers, who are the customers' customers, what are the market trends, regulatory environment, growth opportunities, challenges and risks, technological impacts, who are the customers' demographics, what's the market forecast, and again, it always cites its sources. Personal analysis is a lot of fun. People buy differently. So for example, if you were to try to sell to me, I'm a bullet point person. Just give me how much it is, what's it going to do, when can I expect the results? If you were to try to sell to my wife, well, she wants to know stories. How's it going to impact customers? How's it going to impact employees? What the system does is it searches for tens of thousands of data points on any individual. It will ask you to verify that you found the right individual, and then when it feels like it has enough information, it will use a mathematical algorithm to build out a psychological profile on the individual. So for example, what are my core values? Why do I make the choices that I make? What's the personal mission statement of the individual? What are my underlying motivations, my decision-making style? And if I were to take any of these personality frameworks, how would I score? And I have to tell you, it's pretty darn accurate. Now, I don't really care about the score as much as I care is how does this impact our communication? A DISC profile, Myers-Briggs, Enneagram score, emotional intelligence, Kolbe index. And then it gives us a communication guide So if you were to communicate with me, these are the best approaches. And I can tell you, those are correct. What is some action language that would resonate with me? Emotional language that would resonate with me? And what to avoid. Now, what's also really cool is the system is interactive. So if any of you were selling to me, you could go in here and say something like, hey, I sell copper and brass. I'm meeting with Sam tomorrow to discuss opportunities. How should I frame the meeting? And it will actually build out an entire meeting outline. It can help you write emails, really anything on how to interact and communicate with the individual. The next section is a news search. So you can run a Google News search, type in any company name, and see if the company's recently been in the news. Make sure that you reference this prior to your meeting. Here's an article from 2 hours ago. Now, extended news features news that might not show up in Google News. So, for example, could be trade journal articles, local newspaper articles, press releases, and more. You can search for press releases directly, blog posts, social media posts, YouTube videos, and even podcasts. Always go into your meeting prepared. What's going on in the other person's world and what do they care about? You can even find a research report. So I can type in copper and get the latest trend reports. Now, let me show you how I might use this information with a prospect or a client. I'm going to look at this report. I'm going to grab the web address of this report. Then I'm going to go under Communications and choose Follow-up GPT. I'm going to say, thought you'd enjoy. This is go to our friend Joe at Acme Corp. From Sam. I'm going to paste in the report website address. I'll go grab the content from the report by doing a Control-A, copy, paste that in here. Then I can choose a longer message or a shorter message. And the system will go out and write a message that's relevant to what the other person might care about. I can copy that to my clipboard, go in, add in some of my own words, my own tone of voice. But staying in touch with prospects in ways that they care about is a way to provide value and show your relevance and thought leadership. Under Communications, there's also features to sell to companies, sell to individuals, and general to individuals. What this does is it tries to find information on you, tries to find information on your prospect or the person you're meeting with, and then crafts a relevant communication. Start by typing in begin, which clears out the system, and then follow the instructions. So let's say I want to sell my keynote presentation to the Copper and Brass Association. I type in my information, I type in my prospect's information, what I want the system to focus on, then what kind of communication would I like it to write. The system will research both me and the prospect and craft a relevant piece of communication. We can then copy that to clipboard. In this example, go into my Outlook, paste in the information, change a few words around, put my tone of voice in, and now we have something relevant to send to our prospects. Under contact information, we have the Lead Leaper plugin, where you can go in, create an account with Lead Leaper, and what that does is it installs a browser extension. And then anytime you're on somebody's LinkedIn profile, you can just click the extension and Lead Leaper will attempt to find the person's email address. Under contact information, you can use the system to find contact information as well. Enter the first and last name, the domain name or the company name, and the system will attempt to find a verified email address, just like we talked about earlier. And I can click the Get Address and Phone Information, and the system will go out and try to find that information as well. The Copper Brass Supply Chain Association Intel Engine, helping you find the right information on the right companies, the right people, with the right messaging right now.